The Roman Catholic Church is the oldest, the largest, and the most powerful non-governmental organization on the face of the earth. How large is the Catholic Church? It is so large that it is the biggest right-wing organization on the planet. It is also the largest left-wing organization on this planet. Suffice to say, we're talking big. And it just got done absolutely slamming Donald Trump and calling him out on the carpet for the entire world to see. I'm going to show you what the official Catholic Church said to Donald Trump. But first, you have to appreciate that the official Catholic Church does not get involved in politics. Are there rogue priests and bishops here and there that say stupid things and tell Catholics they can't vote for Democrats? Yes. Remember, largest organization in the world. You're never going to get that big without letting in some idiots. Especially when the cost of admission is being a celibate male. Ouch. Forget the whole tax-exempt thing here in the U.S. The Catholic Church learned its lesson about politics when it told the Italian people they would automatically be excommunicated if they voted in the first elections after Italian reunification. Back then, the Pope didn't want to give up governing in Italy. Now, has the church meddled here and there, sometimes outrageously so, in politics? Yes, absolutely. But by the late 20th century, the church developed a position that it would try and influence policy, but not who gets elected. So for the official church to step into the presidential campaign and formally rebuke a candidate is pretty much unprecedented. This isn't some right-wing bishop trying to make a name for himself by denying communion to some Catholic politician like Joe Biden. This is the Archbishop of Puerto Rico, Roberto González Nieves, publicly and unequivocally condemning the behavior of Donald Trump. In an open letter, the Archbishop not only upbraids Trump, but also does his best to diminish him. Here's the letter. And the first thing you want to note is the title he assigns to Trump, former president of the United States. Now, that's accurate, but you also know that Trump hates that title, and no one in MAGA world is allowed to say it. And for those of you who want to dismiss that as just a formality, look at the formal address. He uses Mr. Trump instead of Mr. President. The formal mode of address for former presidents is Mr. President. But Archbishop González Nieves tosses that out for the more diminutive Mr. Trump. Nice dig, Your Excellency. Nice. He then goes on to state, having consulted with my brother bishops of Puerto Rico, as Archbishop of San Juan de Puerto Rico, I was dismayed and appalled by the comments made by the comedian Tony Hinchcliffe yesterday, Sunday, October 27th, at your rally at Madison Square Garden. Hinchcliffe said, there's a lot going on, like, I don't know if you know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah, I think it's called Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is not a floating island of garbage. Puerto Rico is a beautiful country inhabited by a beautiful and noble people, which is why in Spanish it's called un encanto, un Edén. More Puerto Rican soldiers died in the Vietnam War as part of the United States military than soldiers from any state of the United States. Okay, let's just take a moment there and appreciate another titular lesson in humility and the subtle art of the implied insult. There are boundless ways in which the Archbishop can cement the reputation of Puerto Rico, and indeed, he starts with its natural beauty and splendor from its pre-colonial history. He then very quickly jumps to the Vietnam War, a war in which Trump is a known draft dodger and references the Puerto Rican soldiers who died fighting in Vietnam. Donald, ya burnt. The Archbishop then went on to say, I enjoy a good joke. However, humor has its limits. It should not insult or denigrate the dignity and sacredness of people. Okay, and here you have to appreciate how quickly the Archbishop can switch gears. First, a subtle jab at Trump's cowardice, and then the promotion of Catholic theology, the dignity and sacredness of people. One can't help but speculate, though, putting a subtle dig at Trump right next to a remark about human dignity. Then he continues. Hinchcliffe's remarks do not only provoke sinister laughter, but hatred. These kinds of remarks do not have a place in society founded upon liberty and justice for all. Hinchcliffe's remarks do not promote a climate of equality, fraternity, and goodwill among and for all women and men of every race, color, and way of life, which is the foundation of the American dream. These kinds of remarks should not be a part of the political discourse of a civilized society. Hello? Did the Archbishop just call out the MAGA movement? He pretty much did. But now comes the roundhouse slam. I call upon you, Mr. Trump, to disavow these comments as reflecting in any way your personal or political viewpoints. It is not sufficient for your campaign to apologize. It is important that you personally apologize for these comments. And that is what is so historical about the Archbishop's letter. For the first time in his adult life, Trump is being asked to take personal responsibility for the consequences of his actions. And in case there's any doubt, he doubles down on the specificity of what Trump needs to do. It is important that you personally apologize for these comments. And the beauty of it is, you know that the Archbishop is fully confident that the boy child will not apologize. And if that were all to this letter, then it's still absolutely historic. But that's not it. One last insult before he signs off. The Archbishop states, "May you be blessed with wisdom. Sincerely yours, Roberto González Nieves, OFM, Archbishop of San Juan de Puerto Rico." Yep, you can't help but think that this conditional request of the Holy Spirit to bless Trump with wisdom is just another way of saying you obviously don't have any. Translation, you're stupid. For those of you who have left the church because of all its right-wing ideologue leaders, the Archbishop of Puerto Rico has just given you a reason to come back. And hey, he's not even Italian. Though, of course, nobody would blame you for holding out because you're still waiting for the bishops of Ohio to condemn the way the Trump campaign attacked Catholic Haitian migrants in Springfield, Ohio. Yeah, we're still waiting. I'm Anthony Vincent Gallo for Occupy Democrats.